tropical science. We are a world leader in climate change science as well. And we use the tropics as our laboratory. That part of Australia is very empty, 500,000 people in 1 million square kilometers. So we've got lots of nature around us, which we use to our benefit to make our courses very hands-on and very much allow our students to experience nature. You want to study at JC, apart from the fact that we are in a very beautiful part of the world, in a pristine environment, never any traffic jams, guys. There's only 180,000 people in Townsville. The beaches are fantastic, and there's usually nobody on the beach. You can go snorkeling and diving. So lots of people pay lots of money to come to Townsville for a holiday, and we live there. And our students can study here. So that's quite special for starters. But what's more, so apart from our unique environment, we've got world-class experts in a number of areas, the areas we have representing here, and they teach our students. They teach students in wonderful learning spaces, very good research capabilities. We look at hands-on world issues, environmental change, climate change, resource availability in the world. So it's very much focused on issues that are really important to the world. And we build a lot of skills and interaction into our teaching programs. So, like I mentioned before, we live in a unique environment and we make use of that in our classroom as well as best as we can. So all of our classes, or many of our classes, have got aspects of the environment directly built in. And what I mean here is, if you do geology, the next day you go out in the field and you can touch a rock and you can smell it. If you learn about mining, we can go to the mining industry because there's plenty of mines around us and make students see what it is to be on a mine. And the same goes for the rainforest, and as Mark will explain, the same goes for the reef as well. So our environment is unique, we know that, and that makes our university special. So we are taught by the best, as I mentioned before. We have world-class leaders in areas like environmental science, marine science, air science, and they stand in front of the classroom. There's only 12,000 students in Townsville, which is the place where the three of us are based, and that means that in many of our classes there's only 40, 50 students max in the classroom. And that means that we have a very personal relationship with the students, that we know the students and the students know us. And it also means that the professors actually get to teach in these classes instead of teaching assistants that have to stand in front of a class of 1,000 students, as is the case in some of the bigger universities in Australia. We've got excellent facilities. We've just we built a new science place, a $90 million facility with state-of-the-art research facilities built in. We are currently designing and developing a new engineering place which will be delivered in 2021. It's a $120 million facility. So times 20 to get it, times 50, sorry, to make it Indian rupees. So those are major investments we are making in our facilities to ensure that we are world standard in terms of delivery.
So what is the effect of that? That means the energy use is increasing there. Now there is only limited resources that we can basically generate the electricity there. So we start looking more into the renewable sector like a solar energy, wind energy, the hydro energy and so on there. How are we basically going to manage these things? Yes, we have to start generating this, but how are we going to manage these energy sectors there? Probably in India, we basically pay the exactly same amount of for using the energy during the daytime or night time like that. But in the Western countries, now if you're using your washing machine during the morning, or if you're using during the lunchtime or during the night time, you pay completely different rates. Even though the energy consumption is exactly the same thing, like for example say 1 kilowatt of energy you're using to run a washing machine. If you're using during the morning, probably you pay say, just an example like the $5.
Yeah, so marine biology might seem somewhat of a boutique sort of offering to people, but marine biology takes on many forms, and I think one of the things that we do at James Cook University is we really provide a very good and very broad product when it comes to marine biology. We're actually world #1 in marine biology. Marine biology takes, as I said, many forms. It can be something like this, where we're actually monitoring a reef in Papua New Guinea to look at the impact of fishing on them. We've got them to put aside local reefs to see what the effective marine reserves are. And we end up interacting quite closely with the marine environment. Sometimes the organisms themselves actually interact with us, can't get away from them. And we actually, it's actually really broad in that we're using a lot of technology that Mohan was talking about just before, in integrating that really to ask about questions about how the ocean functions. Marine biology is all about the organisms within the sea, the processes that drive them, and really also how we as humans actually impact those processes and those organisms. So we're thinking about processes like climate change. We really need to be very aware of the robustness and the resilience of those systems and how we might actually best be able to promote that so it survives. Yeah. So really there is a lot of technology involved. As I said, there we just saw a picture of us tagging a tiger shark, then releasing it, and in the next little clip you'll actually see us tagging a whale shark to actually use it as a sensor itself. And so as it goes down into a really deep, 1,000-meter deep canyon, we can actually work out what on earth it's doing. Okay, so it does take on really quite many forms. Many of these projects that involve students, and that's actually really important. Why do we want students to study with us? Well, we're actually #1 in marine biology in the world, even though we only have 14,000 students in the Townsville campus. Also #2 in the world for conservation and biodiversity, which is actually really quite phenomenal. So we're punching well beyond what you might expect our weight to be. We've got an international reputation in marine biology and marine science, tropical biology, which is of course the study of biology on land, and conservation biology. And we are really number one for Australia in those disciplines as well, which is important. We're the largest provider of really environmental and marine research training in the world. Okay, and our students came from 42 different countries last year, so it's actually really broad. We're teaching them about the marine systems, teaching about how to manage the marine systems, and they're going back home to actually put that into practice. We're also, this teaching is actually based on the research that we actually do. We're very research focused, and we are one of the heavy hitters with respect to actually putting out research publications into the global environment. This is important because it means that a degree from James Cook University comes with a fair amount of prestige within those particular disciplines. Yeah? So if you say that you've got a degree from James Cook University, to any marine scientist, they go, ooh, that's good, okay? Come and work with me. Okay, so that's actually really quite important that you're going to be employable. Why are we so good? Well, we've actually aggregated and produced a really quite a large number of centres and institutes that really focus in on marine science and environmental issues. Yeah, there are 90 or so researchers. We've got 30 or so postgraduate students, those are masters and PhD students, that are actually tackling the marine issues of the minute. Yeah? And we also involve social scientists in this. If we're going to actually manage complex marine resources, complex terrestrial resources, we actually need to manage people. And that's really an important process, part of the process. So this is all about actually getting a really integrated product together so that we can actually feed information that goes straight from basic research right through to how it actually influences how humans are going to use that and into policy and how we can actually manage these complex systems so that they'll be sustainable for the future.